are you in your architectural studies? How do you see life after graduation? What was the hardest part of your studies? Do you have any tips for new architecture students? I told you over on Instagram to ask me all your questions about my final year in architecture studies, and today we're gonna answer all these questions in this video. So let's get into it. The first question is, where are you studying and where are you in your studies? So first question, just a little bit of context. So I'm studying architecture in ENSA Nantes, which is in France, and I'm starting right now my last and final year of studies. So in 1 year I should be graduated and being an architect. And in the past 3 years I did a few mobilities, so I was in Germany and in Spain, and I also did an internship in city planning in Germany. Just so you understand a little bit better, because I've been quite all over and I think a lot of you guys got lost. So right now I'm back in my home university in France and I'm just trying to finish my degree. The next question is about graduation. How do you see your life after graduation? Do you know where you want to work? So this question I'm asking myself all the time, I think. So far, I really liked my internship in Germany and I think I would like to be able to go back there to live in Hamburg. I really loved it. Also to work where I did my internship. I really liked it and I think it would be a great way to start my career. So that's kind of my plan A, and we'll see if they want me to come back, if everything works out, but that's pretty much my idea so far. It's not that I especially don't want to work in France, but I really liked my experience there and I would like to continue it. Next question is, how do you feel about finishing 1 year later than everyone else? That's kind of a harder topic for me somehow. If you don't know, I actually did a gap semester and traveled to Southeast Asia, where I was teaching English for some children in some villages, and because of that I'm finishing later than the people of my age. So for example, right now at my school I'm only with people 1 year and 2 years younger than me, so it feels a little bit weird, but at the same time I feel like I've gotten so much more experience. I had the chance to live so many things that I would never go back and don't do it. I think it was the best decision I could ever make. But it's true that just seeing everyone just going forwards and, you know, validating everything, and sometimes I could feel a little bit slow, I don't know. Whereas in Germany people take way longer to study and it feels really normal, and I'm actually like quite young to graduate. So it's really a question of perspective, but since I've been back in France, it's been kind of triggering me, but I just have to keep reminding myself that it was a great experience. I'm so glad I did it. I have to keep reminding myself that it's fine, that I'm actually not that slow or anything. Like, I'm 23 and I'm gonna graduate when I turn 24. So it's actually really normal for masters. But yeah, because I'm just spending so much time with people who are younger than me, I'm getting like a bit of the idea that I'm, you know, slow or a bit bad, or it's just a bit of like imposter stuff. So yeah, I think I'll actually make a full video about this topic because I think it's something that can happen to a lot of people. So let me know if you would be interested. You can leave a little comment down below. Next question is, what has been the hardest part of your studies? I don't really know. Now that, you know, it's been 5 years, I really feel like everything was really fine. Like, nothing was extremely complicated. I haven't had too many mental health problems or anything. I really tried to put this as the most important, and I think I did a good job at that. And taking more time also allowed me to do that. But I would say maybe it was the first 2 years actually. I think the first years were way harder because everything is new. It was also during COVID, which didn't help. It was a bit more complicated in terms of social life also. Feeling surrounded, I kind of struggled to make friends and feel integrated. I liked the studies themselves, but the environment didn't really fit me. And moving and going on Erasmus really helped, and then I got to make a lot of friends and move again and make new friends. Yeah, I think just the first 2 years, it's just so much you have to adjust to. It's so many new things you have to learn, and softwares. You're trying to get new skills, but everything feels so new and you feel like you don't know anything, which is the case, and you have to learn so much. And I think I really struggled with that. It was not the best 2 years of my life, and I think the ones that followed were way better. Actually, I just think it was the first 2 years, but bachelor in architecture is also like extremely overwhelming, so that makes also a big difference. Next question is any tips for new architecture students? Actually, yeah. I think it's a very interesting topic now that I'm a bit further in the studies. I've actually made a few videos about this topic already. There's a full playlist, I'll put it up there. It's my playlist about tips for architecture students to try and like help you get into the right mindset when you're starting your architecture studies. But most of all, I would really say to actually prioritize your health, your mental health, your physical health, because I think this is so important and so many people just don't take it as seriously as they should. Then they get burnt out or depressed or anything really, or in bad health conditions, especially with all-nighters, and I really want to fight against that. So I would say this is so important, like putting your own boundaries, because if you don't put the boundaries, like no one will for you. And also telling people to keep doing stuff outside of school, keep having a life outside of school, keep meeting people who are not in architecture. You get so fast caught up in just like the full architecture world, but you have so much to learn from everything else and like so many different views, and we kind of just get architects with architects, and I don't think it's the best thing to do. You can't learn about the rest, you're just sticking with your people. So I would really say to like try new things and like keep some hobbies and keep some friends group outside of architecture, so you can just broaden your mind a little bit and see different things and different points of view. But again, I've done way more detailed videos, so don't hesitate to check it out. And for the French speakers, there's also all the videos I did in my first 2 years, so you can also check that out. Next question, which country did you prefer to study in? France, Germany or Spain? That's a tough question. So if you don't know, I had the chance to do 2 Erasmus. In my university, we can have 1 Erasmus in bachelor and 1 in masters. So in total, I spent 1.5 years abroad. So 1 year in Germany and half a year in Spain, in Madrid. I think it was very different. I stayed in Europe because I just really love Europe and I didn't want to go too far away. I think I preferred the German way of learning or working, I would say. In Germany it was way more professional because everyone is working at the same time and people, you know, just come on time, they do what they said they will do, and it was just overall a little bit easier to work in groups because everyone was just a bit more serious about it. And when you say, oh, we're having a meeting at 10, we're having a meeting at 10 and everyone's here at 10 and you can start working right away, and just made everything way more efficient. Whereas in Spain was the full opposite. It was really hard to just like do group work because people would come late, not come, not tell. We would, you know, divide the work and then someone would come half an hour late at the presentation and be like, oh, by the way, I didn't do my work. I think in Spain was way harder to manage group work, but I really like the classes that I took in Spain, especially. I think the teachers were really interesting, but it was way more like the hierarchy between teachers and students, but there was a lot to learn. Like a little mix would be awesome, but both were really good. And France, I really like the way that we learn at my university in Nantes. You have a bit more freedom, experimenting, critical thinking, and I really like that, but yeah, sometimes it's a little bit tricky, I would say, especially for projects. I can't really say. I like all of them, and I think now that I've seen different ways of doing, I can really see what I like in each. And now last and final question is, did your internships change the way you apprehend your studies now? Yeah, completely. So I did 6 months as an intern in city planning in Hamburg. It really taught me how to be a bit more professional, I must say. You know, when you have a work to do, you do the work, you say when you're done. And also it helped me to understand kind of the different layers of architecture and how it works with the client or with the municipality. So I just got to like understand the step before architecture, which was super interesting. Overall, I think now in my studies, I tend to separate a bit more the time when I'm working, the time when I'm not working, and organize myself a bit better, I must say. That was always a little struggle. And overall, just taking the studies like more seriously, because I've understood that every class that we have is actually interesting and important, and that I get to learn so much from it, and that it will help me in the professional world. So now when I'm in class, I'm like actively listening. I'm trying to be super focused because I've understood the value of it because of applying it to the professional world. So that's pretty much it. I've answered all your questions. If you have any other questions you would like me to answer, don't hesitate to tell me in the comments. And also if you need any tips or anything, just ask me in the comments. It's been a pleasure to chat with you. Also, please tell me in which school you are and in which year you are. I'm super interested because I want to know if there's more people from other countries and to be able to kind of shift the way that I speak, maybe to explain a little bit more about France. So don't hesitate to tell me which year of university you are and also in which country or which school you are studying. That would be super interesting for me. And you can also just say a few words about yourself, so I will be able to know who's watching these videos and be able to add more value for you. So that's pretty much it for today. I really hope you liked it. Don't hesitate to leave a thumbs up and to subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next video. Bye!